Brendan, excitement abound, hype all over the county, but how are things inside the bubble of the Cork Senior Hurling setup and the build up to this All-Ireland final?
Very good, very good. So look, we're just delighted to be there. I mean, at the outset of the year, it was we knew we'd be in a Munster Championship, so the goal was to get back to Croke Park, and you could see by our performance on Sunday we were hell bent on getting back there and giving a good account of ourselves, and the lads did. So all credit to Pat and the players for a really excellent performance. Yeah.
Consistency is the word I'd use with you this year compared to last year. Like, it was a fantastic run to the All-Ireland final, fantastic to get Cork back there again. But this year, when the chips were down, bouncing back against Limerick the way you did in that Munster final, how much was that borne out in November and December on the training ground? It didn't happen overnight, but to lose to Limerick, teams lose to Limerick all the time, but to bounce back in the manner that you did must have been fantastic for the management team and the players.
Yeah, it was definitely. Yeah, you referenced November and December. A lot of the work we did in November and December was looking back at last July, really, John, to be honest, right, and taking the learnings from that. And we applied those learnings. We were adamant to look for new players, and we found a couple of extra players in each line. When you get that bit of extra competition, then it raises everybody's levels. So we navigated through the league, started quite well, and finished it well, which was encouraging. And the Munster Championship was the Munster Championship. There was lots of ups and downs, as I suppose the game in Ennis was kind of nearly reflective of it, really, with huge highs and some lows. 18th of May being one of them. But we navigated it and won a good Munster, and we're back now where we want to be from the learnings of last year.
Yeah, you mentioned the learnings of last year. I mean, obviously losing a final it's horrible for players, and when you came so close as well, keeping that bond together is one thing within the dressing room, but for the management team as well, it's been equally important. The message has been very clear from Pat all along, we're going to persevere, we're going to keep our heads, not get too excited if we win and not too down if we lose. Has Pat's leadership qualities and the backroom teams too, in talking to the players, that shone through, because the players seem very, very calm and level-headed all the way through this championship, even in the bad days?
Yeah, look, my take on it is that a team often reflects its manager, right? So, we're very lucky. We're very lucky who we have in Cork, right? So, look, myself and Wayne have soldiered with Pat since our playing days. And, we've built up a great bond with the under-20 journey as well. And, we're lucky to have a lot of these players. So, it's very reflective of the manager, really. And I think the players have matured too. It's taken, it does take senior inter-county is a difficult place to navigate, and they had a few tough years at the end of the last reign, and it's taken them time and more confidence to. But with every year, I suppose Pat is reminding them how good they are, and they seem to be responding to him, and it's reflective in the way Rob speaks or any of the players speak about Pat, that they have full trust in him. And that's the way they're playing, and they're playing for him and playing for the Cork jersey, so it's great to see it.
The manner of the victory over Dublin, hugely impressive. But the manner of Tip's victory over Kilkenny was equally impressive, if not by the same scoreline. The challenge that's coming. I know earlier in the season there was an early sending off, so we didn't really get a full view of Tip. Last year was different again. They were still in rebuilding mode under Liam Callan and his selectors. How impressed have you been with the job that Liam's done, not just in 12 months, but since coming in from success with Waterford, getting them to an All-Ireland final? This is a serious team now, much like yourselves, that are playing for the management team. Tip lads are playing for the Tip management as well.
Yeah, look, I suppose ironically he had a lot of them as a 20s and minor group as well, so it's probably similar. The journey for Liam is probably similar to Pat's in terms of take Jake Morris as a reference player. He's had watch him grow as from boy into a man and a leader of that Tip team now, so it's quite similar. But how impressed I've been, very impressed with them. I suppose, look, they've we had them in 2 early games. They seem like ages ago now, but since the day where they had the sending off here, they've grown into a serious team, and they're scoring goals. Similarly to us, they have inside men, great stick men. Okay, so it should be a really, really great final in terms of the skill that will be on show, and Cork and Tip will invariably bring out the best in each other. So it should be a really, really entertaining, skillful, high energy game, I'd say. Yeah.
The mindset doesn't change. You're going up to Croke Park to win an All-Ireland final, much like you did last year. But the mindset for Tipperary is slightly different. A lot of these players will not have experienced an All-Ireland final before ye have, and that you've had that opportunity last year against Clare. Is it the same approach, same business, same blocks that you're doing over the next couple of weeks in the build up to all of this, or is there a need to change anything?
No, look, slightly different in terms of, I suppose, the approach here tonight is there's this euphoria around coming off a victory like the Limerick one last year. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So it was a case of just job done on Saturday. So the lads were back in this evening, gym session done, and the remit is to get everybody on the field and just go hammer and tongs Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, and see where we go from that. So it's a case of, it was a very short window, so you're not going to get a whole lot done. Now, luckily, I suppose for both teams, they would have a lot of analysis done earlier from the season. So it's a case of go back and relook at those videos. If Pat will address us on Wednesday night, the areas we're going after, and it's a case of, in those 4 sessions, trying to execute those as best we can.
Excellent stuff. Well, listen, congratulations on this, getting to this juncture. Obviously, it's fantastic for Cork Hurling supporters, and the very best of luck.
Thanks, John.
In that Ireland final, Brendan. Well done.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.